Hey everybody, Ron here with Solo Operative Games. We're at my table again today and we're going to be playing Nucleum. This is a very exciting game published by Board and Dice. It's by Simone, Luciani, and David Turczi. You probably know those names if you're familiar with my channel. Feature a lot of their games here. Just an example, like Luciani does Zolkin, Grand Austria Hotel. He's also done Barrage, Tilatum, Golem, tons of games. And then we know Turczi to be a prolific solo designer as well. So he's done the solos for Tekenu, Imperium, Voidfall, and Acrony. So big names, and it's a big game. I've got a standard game theory table here, and it with a 4-player game barely fits. I have to turn the whole map sideways, putting the 4-player boards out there. It's a big footprint game. And it's a thinky game as well. It's pretty heavy. I think the solo is going to be one of those where we probably get a lot of rules wrong just because I'm focused a lot on trying to play efficiently and using most of my brain power for that. And running the bot is it's a spreadsheet for sure. So let's get started. This game plays 1 to 4 players. It's about 2.5 hours. It's a great game. If you think about its pedigree, I kind of go all the way back to make like a power grid that maybe inspired brass, that maybe inspired barrage, that maybe inspired this. I don't know if that's exactly how it all the lineage went, but those are all 4 games that when I think of this type of resource management, area control, contracts, there's a lot of new things in here as well, but there's a lot of great stuff that's been featured in other board games too. So we have this whole action mechanism where we have these little domino tiles that have 2 actions on them, and you can play them for their actions and do both actions, or you can set them out on the board to link and gain area control, well, kind of your region, and expand it on what you can actually build on. So let's get started. This will be a learn as we go. I'll teach it as we play. The solo is Baron von Automat. He's got a whole book just to himself. The back has a few flowcharts. One is what kind of turn he's taking. Then once you find what action he's doing, then it's got like a cheat sheet of how that action works. But then you might have to flip into here and say, okay, if he's going to urbanize, here's all the things. If this, do that. If not, do that. You know, it's a whole crazy list of things. So I might interpret those things wrong. I might forget something. I might grab the wrong part of the board because I'm not seeing it. Feel free to put stuff in the comments below if I do make goofs like that. Put a timestamp, and that can help everybody out as they're watching. Okay, so the board has been set up for a 2-player game that works for the solo. And as part of that, you draw some setup cards, and it puts out a few, like they call them neutral cities. So if you look here, you're probably going to see the back of my head a lot because I have to lean way over this map to get to view everything. But there's a few neutral buildings out on the board. The bot also starts with a random neutral building. There's a few places that are like blocked off. They're like rubble, just to make it a little more tight as far as where you can go. And then there's 5 power plants in the game. One of them is purely coal. I don't know if you can see that, the top-down mode, but that one will only burn coal the entire game. The other 4 burn coal, but once they get one of these little Nucleum things on them, then they can take uranium as well, and that's where the big power gets generated. And then we have a few contracts out here. And then some endgame goals. Now that's kind of like as you're looking here as we form our initial strategy, what we want to focus on. The 4 endgame goals, one is to build laboratories. The second one is to have energized buildings in as many cities as possible. The next one is to get out all of your mines. And the 4th one, the highest one up there, is for every 2 urban buildings that we build, we will get points. And obviously you get more points for the top one, but it's a lot harder to achieve. So I usually focus on the 2 middle ones when I'm at least formulating a strategy. Maybe the lower one, because it's nothing to snap out. We could get 12 points and it'd be pretty easy. So we should probably try and do it. As far as the kind of the higher level contracts, having 9 railway tiles out on the board, having 6 buildings of any type in green cities, and having 4 mines. So that one and that one work pretty well together. And then as far as my board, let's zoom in on that really quick. You get pick an experiment. I've just gone with experiment A, and that gives you a set of technologies that you can unlock. When we do that, we'll slide them in. They have this little cool little keying mechanism where they kind of slide in and slot in there. And we're really focusing on just getting as many cities, building as many cities as possible. We'd like to build 9 different cities if possible. And that works out for this one, if we can build, I'm zoomed in, but for the achievement to energize a bunch of cities, kind of goes really well for us. And then I was given a random starting contract, which is build 2 buildings in purple cities. When I do that, I can get a level 1 technology. So maybe some early game strategy there. You've got all your buildings. Unlike brass, you don't have to build them in a set order. You can just build whatever you want, so no developing to get rid of the crappy ones at the beginning. And then like barrage, at the end of every kind of round, when you're ready, you do a recharge phase. And that's when you're going to claim an achievement up here based on how many achievement tokens you've earned. So if I do all my actions and I say, okay, I'm ready to recharge, and I have 8 tokens, then I'll put a star up here on the 8. Now the thing about that is you can only have 1 star in each of these little colored bands. So if I get 9 next time, I can't put one in here, and I have to go all the way down to 6. So it's a constantly trying to best your previous round of saying, okay, well, I got 4 last time, I really need to get up to 7 the next time if I can, and then there's some strategy in where you put your stars as well. But I really like that aspect of barrage, and it's very prevalent in here as well. So you can see the designer taking something that worked really well and copying it to the next game. All right, let's get started. On the board, as far as what I'm seeing originally, there are 2 neutral buildings right here in this white town and this purple town. And there's a coal power plant and coal, very accessible. So if I put something, a railway line right here, I'm going to have access to coal, a power plant, and 2 early neutral buildings that I can build in. And then also there's places for labs in both cities, and that's one of our achievements. So I think what I really want to do first is get a railroad right up there in the top left. That'll also kind of block the bot out from there, because he does have his starting building up there. But if I can get a turbine here, I really kind of block him out from this section of the board where he can't really do much, because he scores when he energizes his buildings. He scores if he's connected to a mine and to a turbine that he owns. So if I can keep him away from his buildings and his mines, then that's going to help my score. Now, one thing about this game is the bot will score a ton of points during the game, and he's going to have a little bit less end game points, whereas we will score relatively few points during the game, and then have hopefully a big chunk of end game points and pass him. So it's a little bit unnerving when you're playing the game, because it just looks like he's destroying you. But I was within 5 points of him by the end of the game last time I played. Okay, so knowing that strategy, we go first. We have the first player token. I've got my 5 original tokens here down at the bottom. I'll try and zoom in here. And I could pick any of these, and I could just put them up here and do both actions. These ones, when I recharge, I get back. But if I want to go claim that white and purple city, I need to put one of my actions out there, and I will never get it back. And I only get to do the actions if they match the color. You have to kind of place the domino so that it matches. When I really only have kind of 1 of every main action here. And so if I do this early, I'm really at risk of maybe losing the ability to do that action at all. That could be like detrimental, right? But I am seeing that up on the main board, I don't have a zoom in for this, but there are quite a few energize actions up there, and also a few developments as well. So if I lose that action or play it at the beginning, I'm not out, right? And you don't energize very often at the beginning of the game. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and play this tile here. It's a purple-green, so I'm only going to align it with the purple city, and so I will forfeit the green action, basically. So then I need to place one of my little meeples out on that to claim it. And I did start myself with the 3 meeples. That's kind of like a easy mode or beginner mode game to start with 3 instead of 2. But I find it moves the game a little bit faster. I'm not focused on just resources at the beginning. I can actually start getting into the game, the meat of the game. Okay, so that first action then I have is energize. I'm going to energize something right away. And that means, well, basically I need to pick one of the buildings that I can energize. And right now I have nothing on the board, so it's going to be one of these urban buildings. And I can go for a 2 or a 4. and that they're going to take that much coal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 really cheap coal available. After that, I'm going to have to start spending more money, and I only have $4 to spend to start with. So I think we're just going to do the level 2 one, which is right up here. So we're going to charge pay for 2 coal. And there's 2 right there. We just flip them over. Now these coal cost 2. If those get used, then they cost 3. So similar to the economy that drives brass, where the more you spend, the more expensive it gets. But this will never replace. Nobody produces coal anymore to replace it. It just gets more expensive the entire game. So we've taken this coal, we shipped it over this rail line, and then over this rail line, and into this power plant, and then we sent that power back through that rail line to this building. So that is successfully powered. We didn't spend too money to do that for that coal, so go ahead and discard that. And we're going to get this what's on the building. So for flipping it over, we get 2 achievement points. So we're going there. And then we also get a meeple. So we get the meeple that we replaced. And then if we look back at our player board, we have 3 different income tracks. And that one gave me +1 on the income, on the meeple income, the worker income. So there's our spoils from spending one of our 5 tiles that we had. And we're out there. We've powered it. So I'm at a point now where I could get, zoom back out there, get a star on the board. The bot starts with 1. That seems cheap, but I could get one on the board at 2 if I did a recharge right away. So I'm pretty good there. Okay, it's the bot's turn. So let's zoom in over here on the bot. He starts with a random experiment. I've given him the B tiles. And this one is actually flipped over. That's his kind of like marker of when he'll end his turn. And then he's given 2 other random tiles to go with that. So he starts with a total of 6. He was also put out one of his buildings. He's got his 4 mines, his 4 turbines, and a dice, 3 workers, and 3 coins. So what we do at the beginning is we're going to roll his dice. Yes, it is random. This is a die that goes 1 to 4. Primarily, it's like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be the first 2 most of the time. And so he's going to do this first action here. Now there is a flowchart in the back that talks about how he's going to spend that action. And basically, if he has a worker, he's just going to, and he also has another copy of this action here on another tile, then he's like, fine, I'll just put it on the board. So that's what he's going to do. So let's go to the main board here. And his preference, because he has no presence anywhere on the board, he wants to try and finish rail lines, especially ones that are too long. Because you get bonus points for finishing one that's longer. But that's not possible right now, so we'll skip over that. The other one, he's going to want to try and connect 2 cities where he also already has presence that match both colors. Well, the white is never going to match 2 cities. There's never a white city next to a white city, so that is also going to fail. And so failing a bunch of those decisions, then he comes to his deck of cards here, and he's going to flip one of those, and it's got a bunch of tiebreaker type stuff on there. And for this one, it says he's going to look for the highest numbered city. And I know that to be Zwickau. Let's go back to the board. This purple city here is a 17. I believe it's the highest. Could be wrong, but the numbers are so small it's easy to miss them. But from Zwickau, he's wanting to try and connect so that he can at least match 1. So I think that puts him in Plown. Now, I could be wrong because I think he also wants to just match white, and so it might be the highest white city. So let's go look, just in case, and see if we can read and we can figure that out. Because I actually have never had this case before where you couldn't match a color. So on his railway tile, so he's going to, that's the rule, I got the rule book out, not the solo book out. Let's try that again. So here's his railway requirements. So finish 2, no, he can't do that. Put it so both sides match, can't do that. The other one only applies to a 3-player game, so that doesn't apply. So we go to step 4. Can extend one of the Baron's existing networks. It contains at least one of its own buildings. Okay, so that's where it's going to match. Okay, so he's going to extend where he has a building, and we know he has a building in Leipzig, so he's going to put that one right there. And he's going to want to prioritize doing the main action over just the auxiliary supplemental action. Okay. And so the one he's going to get is the urbanize action. And he's going to want to try and build a building. He's going to look for a city in his network. Well, right now, his network is of size 1. The only city he's connected to is right here. So he's going to have to build there. And then it says you go to the card as far as what he wants to build. And so it says green, then yellow, then red. And if we look at this city, it does have the ability to build green first here. So he will take his green city and he's going to put it, or green building, and put it right there. Now that kind of messed with our strategy. We were going to try and put a lab there, and he beat us to it. But so it is. It's amazing how many times randomness thwarts your plans, right? With the way that Turczi designs these. So he does need to pay 1 coin. So he has 3 coins. When he's out of coins is usually when he does his recharge action. So he did have to pay that. And I'll probably forget to charge him for those because not every action takes a coin. But that's it. That matched. Now this one's not going to flip over because later I could come in with a white and a green, match both colors. I would get those 2 actions. And then if I did play a white here, it would match him and he would get that action as well. That's a big part of the multiplayer game, is determining whether you want to match somebody else's tile because you get the action and they do as well, or if you want to purposely not match so they don't get their action. Big decision there. Okay, so back to us. That's his turn. We've got only 4 tiles remaining, and one of them is do any action, get out of jail free, but it does cost you a coin to do that. So we want to avoid that at all costs if possible. And since we are low on tiles, I think it would probably be good to go get more tiles. So let's go ahead and play this one here. And I want to use another one as a rail line right now. I think we have a big enough network. And so that's going to give us 2 actions. One of them is going to be to develop, and one is to either just get a meeple or 2 coins. Well, I definitely want to get the 2 coins because we spent those last turn. So now back up to 4. And then as far as the develop, that's how you get these new tiles. I don't know if you can see with the font because it's zoomed out so far, but it's 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. First one, we just pay that cost. The second one is 2 additional. So we need to be careful here. Now, I know that I want energized actions because I used up one. So I think I want to take this one. That's going to cost me 1 coin. So I'll pay that. Oops, bounced into the wrong bin. And then what other one do we want? Is it worth paying 2 coins for one of these other ones? I think it is. I mean, especially just getting a bunch of income, like, might as well, right? Going up on these income tracks can be a lot of points. It would be kind of a wasted turn anytime I did that because just be getting income. I don't know. Let's try it. I haven't played this strategy before, so we're going to take this one too. Paid 2 coins for that, and they just go into my supply. After our turn is done, these are going to slide down, and we'll refill. You can see there's a bunch of stacks of these that were randomly put out at the beginning of the game. Once those run out, that is one of the triggers for the end game. So once all of those tiles are gone, you see all these contracts here. Once all those are gone, that's a trigger. Or if yellow puts out his 3rd star, that's a trigger. Or if somebody gets to 70 points. Well, not the bot. If I get to 70 points, that's another trigger. So that's how we get anything. Or there is if I get all 8 of my technologies, which I've never done. Okay, yep, that's my turn. So let's go to the bot. He is going to roll his die, and is a 1 again. He does not have an urbanize action on his other tile, or not an energize action on his other tiles, so he's not going to put this out as a railway. He's instead just going to slide it to the end of his row. So he won't use that tile again before he recharges. All right, so he's going to do these 2 things. There's a flowchart of which order he does them. The develop is always going to be before his energize. And when we look at his develop actions, it's free for him, which is kind of cheap. But he is going to pick the first thing in the list that he only has 1 of. So if we look at these, he only has 1, or he has 2 of these developed, so he's not going to take that one. he only has one of the energize. So that's the one he's going to take. Man, I keep knocking the stack over. I'm just reaching so far across the table. And then he's going to take a second tile, and that one he's going to start again at the cheapest, and he's going to look for a main action that's only present up there once. And if we start here, develop is only present here once, so he's going to take that tile next. And he slides those onto his board. We refill these. You can see these can move fast. If everybody's focusing on getting more tiles, then that can push the end game. So again, those are the 2 tiles he bought. We just put them at the beginning of the list. Okay, so that's his develop action. Now he's going to try and do an energize action. With the energize, he's going to look for a building connected to a power plant and connected to his mine or a coal production area. Now, the interesting part about this is he's going to energize right now, but he's not going to get any points because he has no mines and no turbines on the board. But he is connected to coal. So we're going to do that. He's going to energize his lowest building first. So that's going to be this 2. He would do a neutral building just like us if he could, but these are the only 2 right now that can be urbanized besides this one, and that's more. So he's going to go here, energize that one. He always pays just 1 coal. Wait, does he? Yeah, he's going to pay 1 money no matter what he does. So we'll give him a coin for him. And then he always just uses 1 coal to power no matter how big this building is. And he doesn't get anything for it. Let me verify that. So yeah, 1 coal per neutral building. Oh, based on the level. So I was kind of wrong. It was accurate, but it's because it's a level 1 building, he does 1 coal. If it was a level 2, we'd do 2 and so forth. And he gets 1 VP per turbine and 1 VP per mine if there's Nucleum there. So he gets no points now. He will get points at the end of the game, but it was good that he energized that before he put down a turbine. All right, that is his turn over. So let's focus over back on our player board. Now we've got the kind of the just go up on income tracks, which I don't think we want to do right now. We could get a contract. Contracts are nice because you can slot them in anywhere on this board and it's just a free resource. So if we needed money, if we needed a worker, if we need uranium or some achievement stars, we could do it right away. But I think we want to start working towards this goal here, building 2 buildings in purple. And right now, if we look out on the board, that purple city has a place for a lab and a place for a turbine. And that's all that we can hold right now. So we should probably try and focus there. And we just happen to have, am I able to afford this? No, I can't afford it right now is the problem. We spent all our money getting these tiles. Okay, so we're going to have to do something else. We will go ahead and do the contract thing, I guess, then. And that's going to let us to go up 1 on the money track. And then we're going to take a contract. The gray ones are easier, kind of early game ones, and the gold ones are late game, and you claim those. The gold ones you just achieve from the board. You don't have to claim them. So have 5 railway tiles out is a little hard at the beginning of the game. Owning just 8 tiles total. I have 6 right now, so I think that's a good one to start with. This will give me a worker and a level 1 tech if I complete it. And we'll just slot that right into our money area to get $2. And now we have what we need for our next action. Okay, our turn's done. Bot, gonna roll the die. He got a 4, which is this one here. He does not have another tile that gets him contracts, so he's gonna just slide that one over and not put out a rail tile. And for the contracts, his first turn before he's recharged, he'll grab silver, and we should have replaced that. After that, he will grab gold, and he'll always grab the most valuable one to him. These are both worth 2 points plus 1 for the technology because he doesn't do technologies. So since they're tied, he takes the top one. He's going to instantly score it too. He doesn't have to bother achieving any contracts. So that'll be 3 points for him. And now he's already started. We just flip that one face down and put it in his tableau. He's only allowed to take 3 contracts every time until he recharges. So Once he gets 3, he won't do the contract action again. He'll just pass. But then he has this tile here, and that one gives him 3 victory points for that action. He doesn't have tracks, so instead it's just going to give him points. And so he's up to 6. All right, that's his turn. So let's go back to us. Now we can do this one. We have the money for it. So I've got 2 actions there. One is going to be urbanize and one's industrialize. Urbanize is going to build these square buildings, and the industrialize is going to build either turbines or mines. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our turbine out first. I'm going to go ahead and select the top turbine. It only costs 1 meeple, whereas then it goes 2, 2, 3 to get to the bottom one. The bottom one is great. You can do a strategy where you put out that turbine early and then this mine, and you get a level 3 tech right away. But it puts you way behind, so you better have a good strategy on how you're going to recover with the resources. But I'm just going to go easy. This one, now that we've built it, whenever we buy coal, we get 1 discount on the total price. So that'll be great since coal is starting to get more expensive. So that'll cost us 1 meeple. And then I'm also going to build in the greens, the purple city out there. I see we need a lab. So I'm going to build this one here. The level 1 lab costs us 2 money. So I will take those and let's go to the board. And we're going to go ahead and slot that one into Grima, our lab there, and then our turbine there as well. Now, these Nucleum are over here, and the person that recharges first in this zone gets to control where that Nucleum goes. So I definitely want to make sure I recharge before the bot, just so I can ensure that the Nucleum goes here and not over somewhere else where I can't make use of it. Okay, so those were our 2 actions. We didn't get anything from those other than our discount on coal now, but we've got a nice area of map that we can work with. All right, the bot is going to do number 1. All right, so first he's going to get more tiles. This happened last time I played the bot. He just grabbed so many tiles. So he does have more of these in his meeple, so he's actually going to try and place this out. And it just so happens, this kind of sucks for us, that this is a white-green action, and that is exactly what he needs to complete that. And that's his priority, is to complete level 2 railroads. So he does that, and if we look down here, there's a little key. It says anytime anybody completes a level or a length 2 line, they get 2 points for every line in that rail. So he's got 2 lines times 2, he gets 4 points, and we get nothing. So that kind of sucks. And then he's going to do all 3 actions because he matched here, so he gets that side and that side plus the thing. So for his development action, he's going to look and say, what do I only have 1 of? This first one, he only has 1 of these urbanize actions, so he's going to take that one. And then something that only appears once. This appears 3 times, this appears twice, so he's not going to go to that. And his third, priority is just take the cheapest one, so he's going to take that one as well. So he's taking tons and tons of tiles. Of course, I knocked over the stack again. I don't care, it's fine. Fine where it is. So we have a new, this should have come out. That doesn't cost him anything. He's got his tiles, and so the other side of that action was to get 2 money and 2 money. For that, it says he gets 2 Thaler and 2 victory points. So he's actually going to get 4 money, which basically means his recharge phase is going to come way late. And then he's going to get 4 points. So there he goes, 14-0 already. And then now that these are done, they can be flipped to railways. And that means now that power plant is in play. It didn't really matter because this power plant's in play as well, but that connects that for both of us. Okay, so back to my turn. We're starting to run low on tiles, and I do have I have a tile that can get me more tiles if I wish. I'm kind of low on money though. So I'm thinking about just getting some more income tracks and then recharging. Do we want to try? I don't know. I think we've got the two stars we need to get onto the first section. The only reason we'd want to try and go for more is when the bot recharges, he's going to add 6 to his current star and place a star there. So his first one went on 1, so his next one's going to go on 7. And when he recharges, if he's the second one to recharge, it triggers a little king scoring, where whoever's highest up on a track gets 6 points. So if we could try to get to 7, then that would be, we'd get to 6 points. It would give us a 4-point swing there, basically, if we could get there. If we get higher, then it's an 8-point swing. But I did notice we completed this contract and we forgot to turn it in. So let's do that. So we do have 2 buildings in purple now. So we're turning that in and we get a level 1 technology. You can only do this, turn a contract in, if you're doing a normal action thing. So we do need to put a tile out there first. So let's go ahead and put this tile in there. And all that's going to do is go up 2 on the money track and 2 on the point track. Point income sounds great. Every time I recharge, I get points. That's great. And then, yeah, now I'll turn this in, which gives me a level 1 technology. And my level 1 technologies, the first one is every time I build a mine or a turbine, I get a free uranium that I can place on any of my mines if it has room. The second one is anytime I energize, I get a money. I will definitely forget to do that, I'm sure. And the third one is right now, one time, just right now, do an urbanize action at a discount of 2. So I could get out another building if I wanted to. And I think I do, actually. But that industrial, or the money every time you energize is also amazing, because I think I want to energize pretty soon as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get that one, because I think the money is going to be more valuable to us if we can. Okay, that's a whole turn, because we did go up on both things, and we got our technology for turning our contract in, so we're done. Let's go back to the bot and let him roll his dice. Probably going to urbanize, but we'll see. No, we got a 3. He's actually going to try and energize twice. Oh, no. Okay, so he has other energize actions, so he's going to put this on the board. This is his last meeple. He wants to match a purple city to anything, so that's going to go in quite a few places. So I think we're going to need a tiebreaker card. Basically, I'm just looking for either the lowest purple or the highest purple city, because he wants to match both. So the tiebreaker card that I drew is another one where it's looking for the highest number. And before, we already figured out that was Zwickau. And so he could place that anywhere coming out of Zwickau. So there's 4 choices now. None of them connect to his network. So the way I interpreted that one was then he'll look for the connecting city that's the highest number. So we've got a 7, a 13, a 2, and a 6. So in my interpretation of the rules, he builds right there from Zwickau to Chemnitz. And I'm sure I'm pronouncing all of these wrong. And he's now going to try and energize twice. All right, so remember, energize, he does need to pay a money. So I'm just going to charge him 2 money right now so I don't forget. And let's see, where does he energizes? He wants ones connected to a power plant. He doesn't have a mine or a turbine out to influence that, so it's just going to be any of these, his buildings or that urban building, and he's going to pick the cheapest ones. Well, he's doing it twice, so he's going to end up doing both. So first he'll do this one. It's a level 1 building, so he's going to use 1 coal. And he's going to do that, and again, he gets no points because he has no turbines or mines, other than the endgame points there. And then after that, he's going to do the neutral building. The neutral building always just does 1 coal, so we'll just take one of these off the board. Now that costs 3. It's getting expensive. And he's energized both those buildings. And that kind of sucks for us because we were going to try and take advantage of that really soon. And we couldn't. Okay. So let's flip this tile over because he's done both of his energize actions. He spent his 2 coins. Didn't get any points. Okay, we're good. It's actually nice that he did both of his buildings in the same city, because this one, remember, gives points per different city you've energized in. Okay, so back to us. We could recharge right now. I think we will, because I've got an energize here, or I could energize that lab that I have out there. It'll give us 3 stars and put us at 5, but that just makes it harder for next time. So I think we just want to do a recharge action. So let's go ahead and show that. To do a recharge action, the first thing we do is collect all of our income based on these tracks. Now, if I didn't have as many tiles out here, I can't get my full income. So let's say this right now is at 8, but if it was way up here, you only get based on how many tiles you played. So I'd be limited by this line right here, so I'd get 10. But because I played at least as many tiles as my tracks are, I can get my full income. And that is just to prevent you from just recharging, getting tons of points. You actually have to play some tiles. So I'm going to get 7 money, which is great. I'm going to get 2 meeples, so we're up to 4. And I'm going to get 2 points, so I'm on the board. Hooray! And you can see as these tracks get up, you actually get points from the other tracks as well. So we can get there. All right, that's the next thing I'm going to do is take all of our stars. Even if you claim a lower amount, you must discard all of your achievements. And we're going to put a star. Let's go on the board. We can put it on 2, 1, or 0. 0, you'll get -3 points at the end of the game, but you do get a worker and 2 money. That's kind of a bailout if you run out of and somehow screw up so bad that you can't do anything. Or maybe you would just want to take it. It's kind of like Great Western Trail, where there's that action where you deliver, but you say you're delivering 0, so you just get some money and negative points. That's kind of there for us. But we claim 2, so now we are going to get 1 times the number of green buildings at the end of the game. Well, we placed 1, so we just earned a point, a single point. If we get up into this green band, then we're going to get 2 times the number of green buildings as well, so for a total of 3 for every green building. So that's possible 12 points for us if we built all of our labs. And then the last thing we do for a recharge is claim all of these tiles again. I will mention as I do that, because sometimes it's hard to get them out of these little slots. These boards, they're double thickness, whatever. They warp like crazy. As soon as I got them out, they were flat, and within 30 minutes, they were like an eggshell. They were so warped. So Castles of Burgundy's special edition did its job and sat on them for a couple days, and now they're nice and flat again. We'll see how long it lasts. I can see this corner is already starting to come up a little again. So it's a bummer that we have these nice fancy double layer boards, but they all seem to be susceptible to warping, which is a bummer. Okay, so I did my recharge action. I'm done. It goes back to the bot. He'll roll his dice. He's got a 2. He's going to try and urbanize and get some points. He's got plenty of those. Oh, but he doesn't have a meeple, so he will just slide this over. He's not going to play rail out. For his urbanize, he is going to look for this logic card. He wants to build a factory in his network, whatever. And dang it! If we just look at the board, there's a place for a factory. Oh, he's going to build, that's the only place in his network, right? Oh, no, he can place it here. So he's got Risa and Leipzig as both as options because he built that railroad there. Oh, no, he's also got Chemnitz and Zwickau because he built this one here. Oh, he's got lots of options. Okay, so he wants to build a factory in one of those 4 places, and his tiebreaker is lowest. So he's going to look for the lowest city, and that happens to be Leipzig. So he will build there. He'll take his factory. I guess that's good for us that he's just ganging up all in one city. But yeah, that was part of my network now. Now I don't have a single place I can build. I'm going to have to put out a railway to extend my network. My presence. Okay, that's what he did. He built that. That does cost him a coin, right? Yes. And then his other action on that was the 2 stars. The book says for the 2 stars, it just gives him 2 points. Back in my head. Wonderful. Okay. Back to us. We've got all the options in the world now again. Tons of money, tons of workers, and a bunch of tiles. Let's see what we want to do. We need to expand, but we also need to get these 8 tiles. So before I put something out on the board to expand my network, I think I should go get 2 more tiles to satisfy that condition. So let's go ahead and do we want to do the energize? I think we do before coal gets too expensive. So let's do this one. We should have enough money for it. So for the development, what tiles do we want? I don't really care. There's nothing out there that's jumping out at me as like amazing. I do like this one that's a industrialized with a free meeple, so basically is giving a meeple discount, and then up the money track. So I think I will take that one for free. And then I can pay 2 more coins plus the cost for another one. I need to do this, so we will. I kind of like this one here. It's urbanized plus go up on any track, and it's a wild color. So I'll spend 3 for that. 2 plus the cost of 1 to get that one. Okay. Slide those over and fill those in. Gone through our first stack, so we'll move the second stack in. All right, not a lot of great tiles. There's some that come out and you're just like, oh my gosh, I have to buy that immediately. And that hasn't happened really yet. Back to my board, I have now achieved having 8 tiles. It's just 8 tiles anywhere. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. If I slide them over, there we go. And that's going to give us 1 meeple and a level 1 technology. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, that'll work. Oh no, that doesn't work. Because I have nowhere I can build. I can't urbanize anywhere because my network is not extended. Okay, so that means I pretty much must do this top technology, which is get uranium every time I built a mine or a turbine. So we'll turn that one in. Okay, and then we know our second action here is to energize, and I get +1 to my energy. And the only thing I can energize is going to be my factory there, or no, my lab there in Grimma. And it takes 3 energy. I don't have uranium available anywhere, so that's going to have to be all coal powered. And I'm going to need 2 coal because of my +1 benefit. So I'm going to have to buy both of those. That would normally be 4. I do get a 1 discount because of the turbine that I built earlier. So I have to pay 3 coins. So out of my 5, we'll get 2 back. And that turns this one over. Oh, dang it. Okay, we got to undo something. I'm not going to turn this contract in because the reward for energizing that lab was a level 1 tech. So I'll use that to get this, and I just won't turn this in yet until I'm ready to build. So throw my meeple back. We'll call a mulligan on that one, and we can just save that contract. And even though we've fulfilled it, as long as we don't ever spend one of our tiles to go below 8, we can fulfill it at any time. Okay, I think that works. So back to the main board, we did power this one. We got our level 1 tech, flipped it over, and get 3 achievement stars. 3. So we are in the green section, but we would like to get to 7 if possible so that we could tie him. He only has 2 coins left, so he's going to recharge fairly soon. And let's go to his turn right now. So roll his die. He's got a 3. He would like to industrialize. He has no meeples, so that will just slide over here. His industrialize action does cost him a coin. And he wants to, he's going to look at one of his tiebreaker cards to know if he wants to build a mine or a turbine. And this one is a mine. So he's going to take a mine. Doesn't matter if it's the size 3 or size 2, he never actually places uranium on them. And now we have to find out anywhere in his network where he actually can. He wants to build where the best bonus is. So these things like if we go out to the board, there's a +1 here in Prebnitz and a +1 in Brooks. I think that's, oh, you know, forgot to do something. Let's back up. When I put my star here, I should have put out this Nucleum. So we'll go ahead and stick it there. And the bonus for putting that nucleum out is a meeple. So I do have another meeple. Okay, back to where we were. But the problem is this needs to go in his network. And the only place for a mine in his network is right here in Chemnitz. So he's going to claim that one there. He doesn't have to pay the extra money for it. He just claims it and he gets really nothing. All that's going to do is when he energizes in that network, it will give him a bonus point. But yeah. Okay, so that is done. His other part of his action was to either gain a bot or 2 coins. And when it looks on that, it says he needs a thaler or a worker, whichever he has fewer of. Well, he has 1 money, so he's actually going to get a new worker. So that might extend his turn. I don't know. But let's go to us. Okay, so we know we need to put a railway tile out. However, if we do put a railway tile out, then we fall below the requirements for meeting that achievement. So that's great. So do I do another develop to get even more tiles? I'm kind of running out of money. I wouldn't be able to buy 2. Well, or I could. I kind of want to get a contract because I can get 2 achievement stars for that. That helps us get to our 7. And our contract is on a orange-white. And there's plenty of other contract tiles up there in the offer that I can see. So I'm okay on spending this one, I think. Is there a good orange-white connection out on the board? Let's go look. Now I have access to a Nucleum plant. Well, we both do. But there's no mines currently connected to that. And in the 2-player game, all the mines are in the south, or I don't know, the southern band here. So Chemnitz, he's already claimed. The other ones are all right along here. So I kind of want to eventually connect one of these areas up to that plant, because otherwise we're waiting a little while until that Nucleum comes out. There's also Nucleum here, which is not horrible. How would we do it? If we went from white to orange, he's already connected there. So connect there and there to get this Prebnitz one. Maybe our other option is to connect here from Graschut to Dresden and then down here to get a mine here. That might be our quickest way, and then we're going to have to wait till we get a Nucleum there. And maybe we shouldn't have put the Nucleum there. Because there's really no uranium that can get there right now. One thing is, if I connected here, I'm not allowed to take uranium through the coal plant. This area, the only thing that can come in and out of here is coal. You can't transfer power, you can't transfer uranium. So that's not, even though there are rail lines here, they're not technically connecting parts of the map other than supplying coal. Yeah. This is some tricky stuff here. Let's go with the white and orange tile. Yeah, I think I want to go Dresden Graschut. There's so many turbine spaces here, we could get all of our turbines out in that one area, and we just have to get that a Nucleum pretty quick. Okay, so I do have to put a meeple out there. To do that, I'm going to get an income of coinage. Go over down here, up to 8. And then I get to take a contract. The easy contracts are have 2 energized buildings or have 2 factories. Right now I have 1 energized building and no factories, so I think this one's going to be the one we take. And I can slot it in here and get a meeple. Uranium, which would be wasted. Well, actually would give me a meeple because you can trade uranium for meeples. But I'm thinking I'm going to put it on the bottom and get my 2 achievement stars. We're up to 5 now. So we only need 2 more to hit that 7. Yeah, so if I can charge like a 2 or a 3 before he recharges, that's going to be a hard ask to get to do that. But that was our 2 actions. So we'll go ahead and flip that over. to a railway and refill the contracts. The new one is, oh, 2 labs. That's a nice one. Okay. And I realized what I did is now I've given myself more places to build and put turbines, but I still can't build a mine. Like technically, experiment A is all about using the coal because you have 2 places where you can get a coal discount. If I zoom on my player board, the one that's built into the board, everybody has this. The second one is based on your experiment, and experiment A is a second discount on coal. So if you get these, you're paying 2 less. So it's not horrible. Let's go ahead and go to the bot's turn then. Yeah, I couldn't claim my contract because now I only have 7 tiles because I had to spend one. Okay, that's fine. For him, let's see if he ends his turn here. He's got a 2, and he is going to spend a coin. He does have a meeple here, and so he's going to put this out on the board. But he's going to urbanize, so he'll spend his final coin and his final meeple, so I think he will recharge next time. He's got a white and a green. Are there any places that connect white and green? There's no incomplete railways yet. He would go for those first, but that's not there. So I'm seeing a white and green here. No white and greens, no white and greens. So this is the only place he can place it. And yeah, so he's good there. Now he gets to do both actions because both match. His urbanize building will take a card for, oh, I didn't even show you guys the board, but here's where he built right there, connecting white and green. His card, he wants to build a lab, which is smart because that's part of the end game achievements. And as far as where he builds it, he wants a city connected to a power plant. Praha, if he cannot build in Praha. So as far as the city connected to a power plant, Broughton is an option. He has Zakau, no, that is not connected. Oh yeah, when I looked here earlier, I don't think those were either options because they don't have a power plant. That one's only a factory. He doesn't like to go to these red spots unless he has to. So I think he's going to Broughton. I believe that, yeah, that's his tiebreaker decision. So he's there. This has power plant, but it doesn't have access to coal. There's no way to get coal to that power plant, so he can't energize either of those yet, which is great. We could sneak in, maybe put a rail line here and energize that neutral building. I think we have to do that right now. And that'll, oh no, because he's going to recharge next. I was going to think we could energize and then recharge, but he's going to recharge next turn. So we won't be able to get up there on the track. Okay, that's fine. So for us, we could get more tiles. We don't have an energize action, so, and there's nothing to buy. That's okay. So we can't energize, even though that was kind of a good option there. We do have this white anything action that we could put out, but I don't want to really, I don't want to put out more railroad tiles. I think I want to build another turbine because I've got a lot of meeples, so I'm okay spending those. So if we look for our 2 actions that will let us do an urbanize, we've got urbanize or industrialize with urbanize. But I don't think I'm ready to build a building, or am I? No, I could. I couldn't build a lab, and I really want to get a lab out. So I can claim that contract. There are 2 labs, but that's 3 money, and I've only got 2. So I think I'm going to do this one. So we go up 1 on the money track. And then we're going to industrialize, but we get a meeple discount. So I'm going to go take the second turbine. Normally costs us 2, with a discount only 1. And we'll go ahead and put that up the only place that we can, which is in Grashut. Okay, I think that's pretty much all for our turn. So we go to the bot, and the flowchart basically says, has he hit the stop block, which is the black tile here? He has not. The second question is, does he have a worker or a meeple? And he doesn't. So he hits the no action there, and it says go ahead and do his recharge turn. So for his recharge turn, he is always going to claim 4 money. Wow, I just threw money all over the place. There we go. 4 money. And how many workers? 3 workers. So there's his income that he gets every turn. And then he's going to add his milestone. 6 higher than what his current one is. So from 1, he's going to go up to 7. And because he was this star is now empty, we do a king scoring. He's going to collect 6 points. And we're going to collect 2, being second place. You can collect first and second. So if we weren't higher than his other star, he could have collected 8 points. But he's got that. So his next recharge turn, he'll go up to 13. So that's our kind of our goal if we want to try and beat him on the next one. Okay, back to us. Oh yeah, then the last thing he does is he's going to take his stop tile there and put it at the end and discard all his contracts. Now that he's done a recharge, he will start taking gold contracts instead. So that's going to give him a lot more points. I can see the current ones out there are worth 4 points and 8 points. So that's not too great. Luckily, he's only got 1 contract tile in his things. All right, so that's the end of his turn. Let's go back to us. We've got a very coal-rich board up in the top in the northeast, and a way to transport it to Dresden, down to Grishut for power, and then back up to Dresden. So if we build a building in Dresden, it's going to be pretty easy to energize it. The problem is we don't have a way to energize until after we recharge, which is a problem because we've only got 5 and we want, well, I mean, 5's not bad. We would get in the green, and the next time we'd have to try and get the 8 or 9, or just go straight to the level 10 band. We've only got 2 coins. I need more money. But I don't really want to recharge yet because I want to get my full income. So maybe we don't have, well, we do have enough beeples. We could do our next one here. Ooh, that would be getting us in bad territory. We have like no meeples, no money, but I think I want to do it. So I'm going to play this one here, industrialize and urbanize. So for our industrialize, I'll play this turbine here, and that's going to cost me 2 workers. I don't get a discount on that one. But now every time I energize, I get +2. So that's pretty good. And then that'll go out into Grishut. I'll show that in a second. Then the other action is to urbanize. I can't afford my other lab because it costs 3 money. So with 2 money, let's just build a residential, I think. No, we can get a factory. There's things that want factories out there. All right, we're doing a factory. So that's going to go in Dresden. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so that went out there. We put our other turbine in Grishut. So we can set up a really nice nuclear power plant once Grishut has a Nucleum. That's my turn. Okay, the bot. Bot's all freshly loaded with stuff. So what is he going to do? He's got a 1. He's going to knock over all these buildings. He's going to double urbanize. He has that on his tiles, so he will spend it on the board. And it's a white and any tile. So he wants to match pretty much any white city. So we'll go ahead and do a tiebreaker. And he's looking for the lowest. So let's go to the main. So he's looking to connect a white city to anything, and he's looking for the lowest city they can do that to. So Plavin is the lowest at 2. And then of its connections, we go to 13, 17, and 6. But he won't do this one because it's too long. If he can match a double, and he will because it's wild. So I think he's going to go to Chemnitz. That connects the lowest city he can with the lowest possible of the options. His other option would be go to Brautzen to Dresden, but that's a 3 to a 9, whereas this is a 2. And so my interpretation of the rules, again, they're a little bit open to negotiation here, is that he's trying to build out of Plavin because it's the lowest number. So he'll put his meeple there, and he's going to do 2 build actions, and he wants to build residential, and he's going to build 2 of those. So that's going to be, he's going to get one of his called government buildings out here. So in his network, where can he build that has a residential option? So we know Zwickau does. Plaven does because it can take anything. I think he avoids those if possible, though. He's connected to Bautzen, but that doesn't have an ability to build. And he's connected to Rizea, but again, that is a red. So let me make sure he avoids red. Oh, a new city. Oh, I think I missed that part when I was building a bunch of these up here. New cities take precedence over where he already has one. Okay, that makes sense. Let me just look up something else. So his first one is connected via rails to a power plant, preferably one with Nucleum. So that is really Plaven and Zwickau are his kind of his two things, because that has a Nucleum power plant. That's his first tiebreaker. A city where it doesn't have one, so maybe he would put one here and one here. I think that's probably going to be it. Within the city, Baron Plays is building a legal urban site, preferring a single icon over double icon over red. So he still will go to that city if red's the only option. So I think that's his first choice, and that will be his level 2 building. And then now he's evaluating again, and it would be this city now because he already has one here and there's no other place to build. So he's going to take that one in Zwickau. Okay, so those are his 2 buildings. That kind of sucked for us. So he got a lot of buildings out that can give him a lot of points if he energizes them. Luckily, there's no... Well, there is, yeah, he's got uranium. He's got no turbines. But he cheats. He doesn't need them. Alrighty, so that's both of his actions. Let's go ahead and flip this. Oh, this one should have been flipped a long time ago. Where's the one he just did? This one. Okay, back to us. I could recharge right now, or I could play my income one just to give us a little bit more income before we recharge. Let's do that. So we're gonna get a little bit more money, a little bit more points. Sounds good to me. Okay, so that was a quick turn. Back to the bot. He's going to 2. He only has 1 energized, so he's just going to put that at the very end. And he will do developing before energizing. His develop, he looks at the tiles up there. Oh, I did not charge him his 2 coins last turn for his double industrialize. Don't want to forget that. Okay, so far as getting more tiles, what does he only have 1 of that's up there? I think the first one is going to be this one because he only has 1 industrialize. So we'll add that. And now he's going to look for something that's only up here once. That's 2, so he's actually going to take this tile, which sucks for us because it's a double action. The ones with 2 main actions are much more powerful to him. And they make the game go faster because he's going to spend more money. Man, a lot of tiles to get more tiles up there. That's kind of crazy. No energized though. I'm stuck with 1 energized tile. That's bad. That's really bad. Never be in that condition, that predicament. Oh, and the other, he hasn't finished his turn. He got his 2 tiles, but now he needs to energize. And again, energizing, building connected to a power plant and to his mine or coal production. So he's got a mine here. So I think that's going to give him preference to these because they have coal available. And he's going to charge the cheapest one. So it's going to be this one here. It's a level 2 building, so he would do 2 coal if possible. So he's buying a level 2 and a 3. So that one's maxed out. And he'll flip that one over. He's connected to 1 mine, so he gets 1 point. He needs to get some turbines out there if he wants some points. Cool. Okay, that was his energize action. For us, let's see. I totally forgot. If I get a technology, I can build with a 2 discount. So I probably could have got that lab out. Oh well. I think I need to recharge. I think we're at that point because I need to energize to get this contract, and I need to get more tiles to get that one out, and I don't have any money. So let's go ahead and do our recharge. So our income is going to be 10 coins, Thaler, taller, pronounce it however you wish, and 1 point. Then only 2 workers, so we're kind of worker low, and then 4 points. So we're a total of 5 points. Puts us up at 9. It's the back of my head. And that's our recharge. So now we're going to spend all of our stars, which we have 5 of. And we can put a star on anything up to 5. So it's definitely going to go in the green area. And now we're getting 3 times the number of labs. So we definitely want to build labs this game. Now we're like locked into like really needing to do that. Okay. And then there's no new Nucleum to pay out. We don't get it until we cross this line to play the Nucleum out. So we're just going to collect our tiles. You know, see they're sticking under it now because it's starting to warp. Okay. That's our recharge, so we'll go ahead and go over to the bot. Roll the die. He's got a 4. Now he already has contracts, so he will place this one on the board. Doesn't cost him any money to do a contract action. And it's a white and orange tile. Where can he connect white and orange? I see one up there. That is the only place, so he'll go there. All right, so first he's going to take a contract. Remember, he's going for gold now, and the highest one is this, worth 8 points to him. He's up 31. And we refill that with having 3 residential buildings. Okay. That was his contract action. Then he's going to do that action, which again, remember, is just giving him 3 victory points. I'm flipping. Okay. Didn't cost him any money, so these turns are done. Quick turns. Okay. For us, now we can energize if we want. I can energize this dinky little level 2, which will give me a level 1 tech, which is not bad. And it will only cost me 1 coal, so I'd get it for free, basically. I think that's a waste. I'd rather get one of my buildings out and energize that. Because I want to get a lot of stars right now. I need to get minimum 7, and I'd like probably 10. Or even 13 if possible. So I need to get a hefty lab out, I think. The problem is I cannot build a lab in Dresden. And that is the only place I really have presence right now. So maybe we are stuck doing another residential building. Or do we want to get tiles right now so that we can do this contract? Yes, that's what we want to do. Because we want the level 1 tech so we can build. That's what we do. Okay. So we're going to do this one here. Oh, we could. Oh, we could. Oh, hold on. I think we got the money and the meeples for it. Let's do this one. Because this one's going to let us do develop, which will give us the tiles we need to then turn this in. And you can turn this in between your 2 actions. So I can develop, get the tiles, turn this in, get my level 1 tech, which lets me build a building, and then I can use this energize action to energize it right away. Let's do that. Okay. So we look up the main board. What tile do we want? Well, I would love another energized tile, but that's not going to happen. Let's get a contract because we don't have a contract tile right now. So I definitely want that one. That'll be free. And then I don't really like my other options here, but if I slide him and an energize comes out, he's taking the energize one because it'll only appear once up there. Oh no, I guess industrialize only appears once up there. Huh. Like, you got to try and manipulate the system to know what he's going to do, the bot. But I don't want to just spend money for the heck of it. We do need more worker income, so that's probably not a bad one. So let's go and spend 3 coins to get that second one. Or the third one here, right? Yeah. Okay, so we now have 9 tiles. I guess technically that will fill at the end of our turn. So with 9 tiles, we can turn this contract in. This will give us 1 meeple and a level 1 tech. So here's our meeple. Our level 1 tech is to now urbanize at a 2 discount. So do I go straight to my level 4 tech and just power the whole thing with coal? I think I do. We could do a factory as well, because the factory, a factory government building could go there. That would give us 10 achievement points. That would be, we need 10 coal for that, right? Because we have no power. The 10 coal would cost us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we'd get the 2 for free. 2 discounts. So it costs us 10. So we cannot do that. Okay, can we even do 8? 8 we need 6 coal for. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus 2 is 6. So we can do it for 6 coins. Yeah, let's do it. Oh no, it's going to cost us 5 just to build the thing. Ah, crap. We do get a 2 discount, so it costs us 3 to build the thing. No, that's too high. Okay, so all we can do is the residential then. It was a good plan. So the residential 3 normally costs 4 money. I get a 2 discount, so it costs 2 money. And that's going to go up here in Dresden. And then that was the free thing we got for our technology, right? Yeah. So now we have to finish our turn getting, oh, we do get a free energy here, I forgot as well. But I don't think we could have done the top one. So we'll do an energize action, and we'll energize this building right here. It needs 6, but we do get, or I didn't show you, but 1, 2, 3. So we really only need 3. So we'll go ahead and buy 3 coal. Now it costs us $3, but we get a 2 discount on coal, so we only pay $1. So maybe we did have enough money to do the other thing. I don't know. We got $4 left, and this one is energized. And that gives us 6 stars. And it gives us 3 meeple income. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now our meeples are coming in. And we're close to the next band. We just need 1 more star. A problem being we don't have another way to do an energize action. Hopefully that shows up in the tiles. Okay, so end of the round, we refresh these. And nope, no energize. This is just horrible. Remember that time when I'm like, I can put an energized railroad out there. We'll get another one. We just haven't, or has he stolen them all? No, he doesn't have any either. Okay, just not a lot of energize happening. So we did that. We technically meet this contract down here on our board. Come on, go there. But we've already turned in a contract this turn. You can only turn in 1. So we'll turn that one in next time. But that would allow us to then take another contract, put it here for our 2 stars. Then we'd be at 8, so we could reach the next level, and we could put the Nucleum out. So maybe that's what we'll have to do. Okay, as far as the bot, he's going to 2. He has plenty, or he has at least 1 industrialized, so he's going to put this one out on the board with his last meeple, and he wants to match a purple-green. There are a few purple greens that I see out here. There's 1, 2, and 3. So as far as his tiebreaker, it is lowest city. So of these purple and green cities, I've got a 5, I believe, is the lowest. So he's going to go right here. All right. And then he wants to take industrialize action, and he wants to now build a turbine. What turbines can he build? I think we've got Plavin with some options here. He's also connected to Zetau. So let's see, on industrialize, it's Nucleum preferred. So this one has Nucleum, so that's where he's going to build his tower, or his turbine. There we go, turbine. So that's his industrialized action. Then he's going to get 2 meeple income, which for him gives him 2 workers. And there he goes. All right, so he's got 2 money and 2 workers right now. So he's not really going to do it. Yeah, do we make him pay 1 for industrialized? I think we did. Yeah. Okay. I might have forgotten to. But we'll go ahead and flip this tail over. All right, so there is an option here now. If I could place a railroad here, which would give me presence into Ossig, where they can then build a mine, use that uranium up through his network. It's not like brass. You don't have to pay people for using their networks or anything like that. Or do you even have to do that in brass? I haven't played in so long. But I could send my uranium on his railway. Well, once this has a Nucleum, power it here with my turbines, use that to energize the buildings. So that is an option now. Okay, but we know we need to get more stars, and the best way to do that is going to be contracts, since we can't energize. So I'm going to go ahead. I need to do a normal tile turn here, so I want to do probably the contract, and the only thing I have for contracts is this one. So that's going to give me 2 stars. That's cool. Okay. Dealing. So we're at 8 now. Oh, we're going to make it to 10. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to claim this goal with 2 energized buildings. I definitely have that. That gives me 2 points right away, up to 11. And then 2 money. So we have $6 and 4 workers, and that contract's done. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do our contract action. And I'm going to take, I don't have 2 green buildings or 2 red buildings, or 2 of those, or 3 yellow. I'm really not set to finish any of them. But I think I don't want level 1 techs anymore. That's worthless. So let's go ahead and grab this one up here for 2 green buildings. We'll get out of the lab. Now, technically, yeah, I do want this. All right, so put it down at the bottom to get 2 stars. I didn't really show you guys the offer for the contracts, but yeah, 2 factories, 3 residential, or 2 government buildings. Not going to happen. All right, we refill here. This one's 1 building in Praha, which is the one down here. It's kind of like you get double points. It's a wild color city, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're good there. And you know what I didn't think about? When he played that green-purple, this technically is a green-purple line, but 5 was still lower than 8, so I think we're okay there. But I know he likes to build in Praha if possible. Okay, I think we're good there. Is that my full turn? I got my stars, I did my contract, we refilled. Yep, okay, over to the bot. He's running low. He's got a 1. So he wants to take contract. He doesn't have that, so he'll slide it to the end. And what does he do first? Urbanize is his first action. His tiebreaker is a factory. And he wants to build that factory in a city with a power plant, or connected to a power plant, and industrial or Nucleum if possible. So let's look at that. I know that this is an option in Chemetz because here's the Nucleum. Zwickau is also an option because your factory can go here. Rezé is also an option. And those are the 3 ones connected to a Nucleum power plant that he has access to. So his tiebreaker said highest value. And I think, let's see, we've got Zwickau for sure is going to be the highest at 17. Although he already has one there. So technically, he goes where he doesn't have one, which is up here. Because that's the only city that allows him to build. Nope. Chemnitz would have also worked, but it's a 13, and Rezé is a 15. So I think we're good putting it up in Rezé. Again, it's a Turczi game. You just kind of go and hope you did it right. And if you did it wrong, it's all right. We just play. Okay. That's his building. That does cost him a coin to urbanize. So I'll pay that. And now his other half of that action was to take a contract, and he will go for gold contracts. This is worth 5, this is worth 4, so he'll take this one. And that will be 5 points. That's his second contract this phase. And we'll recharge here. Oh, that's nice. We've got one that needs a building in Praha and another one that needs an energized building in Praha. So might be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone if we can get in there. Okay, to us. And he didn't need to pay for that contract. No, okay, making sure. So we've got our 10. So we really don't need to worry too much other than we need to play at least 2 more tiles so that we can get our full income. What do we want to do? I know we need to get out another green building. Where can we build green buildings? That's the question. I don't think we can right now, based on our now. We need to get more presence on the board. Right now we only have 2 railways, so we only have 4 cities that we can even build in, and all of them but this one is full. Well, we could build 2 turbines there, but so right now we're stuck building residential. And he already took the contract that was for residential. So to get a good green building, where should we go? There are not a lot of options for labs left. I mean, there's these 2. There's these 2. Because I want to build an option that give me a space for both cheaply. Praha would be good as well. I could build a factory, but that's a 12 to energize that. So let's see if we want to get, if we have a green orange or a green purple, I think that will be ideal. Let's see what we got. So we do have green orange. We do not have green. Well, no, we have green orange, green purple. So we could go to either one with this. I would be getting rid of a development tile, but I do have another one that's got a discount on it, so I probably want to use that one anyway. So let's go ahead and spend this one. Now, do I want to put it here or here? Now, I think I want to do it here because that allows me to go through this line to get to coal. And if I built this one, I could get a mine right here to get some nuclear power as well. So do I wait? Do I go here and allow me to build a mine? Because I've got enough workers to do that. It would cost me 2 extra money, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I think I do that. Okay, so this will be our option. We do need to put out a meeple. We have a 3rd one on the board, hooray. And so we're gonna do a development first. And again, I hate the options up there. The contract ones are nice. Those are take a contract and get twice the reward that wherever you slot it in. So if you slot in the money, you're getting 4 money. And that would cost me 4 money technically to get. I have plenty of industrialized. Maybe we get this one that gives us more stars. And more stars. Let's just go for that. So the total cost is going to be 2, 3, plus the 2 for taking 2. So that's 5 money for taking those 2 tiles. And that pretty much wipes us out. So yeah, here's my 5 money. Got 1 money left to do that. Okay, so that was our first thing. Let's go back to the board. We got our tiles. Now we can get 1 meeple or 2 money. Definitely get 2 money. Considering how we just spent it all. So that's cool. That will flip over. And now we have a spot we can build a mine if we wish to. Okay, we just don't have a lot of money. So that's going to be hard. So let's go back to the bot then and let them roll. They are doing 1. They want to take tiles. They will want to put this out too. This is a green and a wild. Wilds are always fun because they can match pretty much anywhere. So we look at the green cities, and I guess their tiebreaker card. Let's draw a new one. It is low. So we look in the green cities and everything connected them to the lowest value. So 3, I think, is the lowest I'm seeing so far. 2 and 1 are not connected to green cities, so this will definitely be where they build. And he wants to, I need to refresh this market. Please don't have, oh my goodness. I hope he doesn't take that. I think he is though. So the first thing he's do is look for one where he only has one, and that's gonna be the first tile because he's down to only one of these tiles. And then something that's only in the offer once. Oh, well this happens to only be in the offer once. Hey, that was cool. He didn't take it. Oh, now they're all coming out. Okay, and those are both +1 energizes, so nice, nice ones. We're gonna have to get some of those. So that was his first thing to develop, and now he just wants a meeple, which I believe gives him a point. No, it gives him a worker. It does just give him a worker. Okay, here's his new worker. And that's his turn. Okay, over to us. We have a little bit more we can do now. I want to do contracts, so let's do this. That's going to give us 1 achievement star. Now we're up to 11. Hey, we're moving up in the world. Okay. And then we can take a contract and get double the reward. So I want some money here. What contract do I want? 3 factories, no. Praha, not really. We're going to have to get into Praha here. But I don't want a level 1 tech, so I think I need to take a gold tile. I definitely don't have 9 workers out, 4 mines out, or 6 green buildings out. So those are out of the question. So let's try and energize something in Praha for fun. I don't know. Put it up here on money. So I'm going to get double the rewards. So that'll be 4 money. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and of course I forgot to show you the offer again, but here's what we had to choose from. The new one coming out is have 13 stars, and that's just have them in your, supply. You don't have to spend them, you just have to have them. I know I have 11, so we're actually close to that one, closer than most of the other things we are. But that's just get 8 points. So that's a nice one. Okay, let's go over to the bot. Bot has 1 money left. Let's see if he spends it. He's got a 3. Yep, he will spend it to do some urbanization. And he does have another tile with this, so he's putting it on the board. And then it's another wild. It's an orange wild. Random card says he's looking for high cities. So he's going to Colorado. Just kidding. So he's wanting an orange, something that's touching orange that's the highest number. And so that's 17. Touches 13 and 6, but that's already blocked, so I think he goes here. Okay. That is going to let him urbanize. Now the card that we drew says he wants to build residential first, so that is his tier 3 residential. It's his last residential. And where can he build that? And remember, he wants to build connected to Nucleum. He can't go to Prague, so he doesn't have presence there, so it's a new city if possible. He is not in Dresden yet. I see that immediately. No. No, no, no. Okay, so it's definitely Dresden, which is tough because we wanted to build something there. But that's where he builds his city. We paid the coin for it. Then his other actions get 2 achievement stars, which for him is 2 points. He's up to 41. Okay, he's expanding the board for us. If nothing else, he's making it easier where we can start transporting stuff. We really need to get into nuclear energy right now, like right now. This is kind of crazy that we're almost halfway through the game, more than halfway through the game, and 2/3 of the way through the game, yeah, and we have no nuclear power at all. Okay, so what do we want to do? We have a lot of options. We've got some more presents now. I'd love to do we still have that tile? Yeah, this one. That lets us build a mine and a building. So to get our second building here, green building, let's build our lab. We're going to have 3 cubes, I think. So we could go up to 6. power. So yeah, that's fine. Let's build our smallest lab here. That one cost us 3 money. There's no discounts there. I'm going to build it up in Marienburg, right there. If we energize it, we get a level 2 tech, so we'll get there quickly. Other half of the action is to industrialize. I want to build a mine, and based on what mine you build, the only thing you get is you get some points if you've already unlocked the turbine, or when you do unlock the turbine. So I could go down to the bottom one, anticipating building a turbine and getting a level 3 tech, which means whenever I urbanize, I get a 2 discount and I can build anywhere. I don't have to be on my network. That's might be not too bad, because otherwise I'm just getting 5, 2, or 1 point, and I don't really need points right now. The only problem with that is I'm going to get 1 uranium for building the mine. I'm going to get a second one off this contract tile, and I'm going to third one because the mine gives me a bonus 1. So I do need to build a 3. So let's just build this one so we don't waste the uranium. You can turn the uranium into a worker if you have no place to put it, but I don't want to waste uranium right now. Just barely getting into it. So we'll take our 3 mine there. That one did cost us 2 workers. So we'll pay those 2 workers. And then it's going to give us 5 points because we've done both of those. So up to 16. And then we're going to get, again, 1 uranium for the spot, 1 uranium for the mine because it's our first mine. Look, uranium on the board. Oh, a game about nuclear power, and we finally got it. Okay. But I did have to spend 2 coins to go to Prebnitz as well. So spend those 2 monies. And then we'll go ahead and turn in our contract that required 2 factories. Oh, there it is, right there. 2 factories, which we have now. We get 3 points and a uranium. So up to 19. We're only about half of his points, not too bad. And then our free uranium. We'll go on this. Okay. Now uranium right now can travel here, but it can't reach the power plant until we bridge this connection. So purple-green, we're going to need to do that at some point soon. But since we can't energize anyway, it's not a big deal that we don't have that connected. That's kind of my thoughts of why I didn't bother connecting it yet and wanted to prioritize getting the mine there. Okay. So to the bot, he's got no coins left, so if these take a coin, he's going to skip them, which would be great. And he is, yeah. Okay, he's going to put this on the board because he actually has 1 of each of those. So this will be his last turn. He will energize next turn. Oh, we need to energize. Shoot. Okay. So he's put on this board, this is a green-purple. Oh, he might actually accomplish what we need to happen because there's a green-purple right there. This green-purple's done. Oh, this is a green-purple too, though. Shoot. Okay, so he needs a tiebreaker. It is lowest. Now, if we look at green-purple city connections, we've got a 7 to a 17 and 8 to a 14. So he's actually going to do what we wanted and connect those 2. Sweet. Okay. His first action he wants to do is industrialize. He has no coins to do it with, though, so he actually passes that action. And then he's going to do his development action. And if we look up there, something he only has 1 of would be the contract action. And then something that only appears once. Energize appears twice. It's going to be contract again. Okay. Hope I didn't want contracts. But look at those juicy energized tiles. Okay. Oh, lots of them. So many of them. We are running out of those tiles approaching the end game there. Okay, that's his 2 actions. We'll flip this over, and that's in his turn. He will recharge next turn because he has no stuff. No workers, no coins. So, if we want to get 2 points, because he's gonna put one on 13, and we've only got 11. Dang it. Because I can get to 13 by putting a contract in, but I'm not going to be able to recharge in time. Or I could just get the 2 stars off this tile right here. Now I know I don't have to put that tile out anymore. So technically I could energize, but I don't have a tile. So maybe I need to go get tiles. I'm thinking, I mean, I'd love to get this Nucleum out. I can't even show it because it's not there. Right now I have 11, which puts me here, which would get me this Nucleum. But the scoring condition would be 4 times the number of energized cities. And energized is just not happening. I have 2 energized cities right now. So that's 8 points putting it here. But if I go up to the 13, and I'm putting that Nucleum out, and I get 4 times the number of mines, well, I only have 1 mine out. And I might not be putting a lot of more mines out. So maybe we just go for the 11. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to go ahead and recharge then. Let's get our income. We did put enough tiles out to get our maximum, so we get 10 money. I didn't get to use my tile that just gives me more income, though. That's going to come back to bite me. 10 money, 3 workers. Needed those for sure. And then 4, 5, 6 points. That's impressive, right? We're up to 25. Okay. Then I need to discard all of my stars, which is 11. And put this here on 11. I'm going to put this Nucleum out. I'll go ahead and throw it right there. So now that one's nuclear charged. Sure. Great. And then I discard my stars, I get my tiles back. I have so many tiles now. Do we have? Oh, that's 9 out. There is an endgame one that's have like 12 tiles, which we're almost at, but because we're at 10 right now. Have we energized a city since we got that tile? Oh, dang it. Okay. So when I put out, oh my gosh, I haven't done this for so long. Every time I put out a turbine, I should have got uranium. And every time I put out a mine, I'm just totally forgetting all my techs. So after I've had this one out, I've put 2 new turbines out since, and I built 1 mine set. So that's 3 uranium I should have had. Now I know where to put it. So whenever you don't have a place to put uranium, you get workers. So I'll just correct that by taking 3 workers. And then I've energized once since I had this technology. So technically I should have another $1. So hopefully you guys caught that. Put it in the comments below, but we've got it fixed now. Okay, so I've finished my recharge action. Yes. Okay, let's go to the bottom. Now he's going to do his recharge action. His recharge, he moves this over to here. He takes 4 money. 4 and 3 workers. He's got what, 5 workers left in his supply. Once he's taken all his workers, he just starts getting points. So it can be bad. And then he'll place his star 6 higher than 7, so he's going to 13. And now we score. He gets 6. I get 2. Both games I played of this, I found it really hard to have my stars above his. He pushes them so hard, and especially I could have if I had an energize action, and I just have the single tile. That was a bad move for me. He does discard all of his contracts, so he's eligible to take contracts again, and I think that's it. Okay. So it's back to us. We've got all our tiles. We are ready to energize if we want to. Do I want to use the coal while I can? No, I want to buy more energized tiles. Let's get that before we lose them. So let's do our one that gives us, yeah, this one here. This is, you know what? I think I'm going to actually use this one because green normally doesn't match anything, and but it does match something in this game, and that is Praha to Brooks. I think I'm going to do that because I've got so many workers, so many tiles. I think it's better to get presents here. So we're getting Brooks to Praha. We match both. So first one is going to be 2 worker income, like that, and the other one is going to be to develop, take some more tiles, and I get a 1 discount. That's off the total price. So I definitely want to take this one and that one. Total price there is 1 coin plus 2 is 3. And then my 1 discount, so I pay 2 coins. Got more tiles. So we spent 1, got 2. That sounds like a plus. Reach over and put some more out. Look at all these energized coming out of the bot. Oh my gosh. Where have those been? I don't know. Okay. For the bot is rolling. Remember, as soon as he's out of these coins, the game's over. Or out of the coins and meeples, he will do his 3rd recharge, the game will be over. So we are in the final stages here. We need to make sure every action we take is important. So he's doing this one, which is industrialize. He does have a copy of that, so he's going to put it out on the board. And it's a purple wild. We're running out of places where he can put these things. Again, there's still no double connections. We have not done any 2 rail lines. Technically, this one should be flipped. So where are there still singles? There's a purple, orange, orange, green, and white, purple are the only singles left. Well, he has a purple wild, so I think he has to go here. Or no, he could go here as well, purple, orange. So purple, orange, or purple, white. His tiebreaker is lowest value. So that's going to be this one, Plavin. Wants to connect into there. All right. He's going to take, oh, this is nice. He's going to take whatever has the lowest of coins or meeples, and that will be a meeple. And then he's going to pay 1 coin to industrialize. His tiebreaker was, same card we just used, but it's turbine. So he's putting out a turbine. Remember, his preference is where Nucleum is. And he's not connected to this, or he can't build in that city, and he can't build in this city. The Nucleum is over here, so he's going to double up there. And that's his Nucleum, and he's going to spend 1 coin to do that, which I already charged him. Okay. So he's got 3 workers, 3 money left. We did both actions. Yeah, we gave him the worker and we did the urbanize. Okay. I mean, we are benefiting that there weren't a lot of energized because he only has 1 energized as well, and he's only been able to use it once per thing. So yeah, I don't know if I want to just buy out all the energized tiles so he can't. I don't know. I think we need to start using them. We have a limited number of turns, maybe 5 turns left. So let's pick them wisely. Do we even bother for our end game tech? Because we would need even 7 cities energized to get 10 points. 5 at minimum. And we're looking at 2 right now. Okay, we need to energize. So I think our best energized tile is this one. Let's just energize and industrialize. So we'll go ahead and do that one. As far as the industrialize, let's go ahead and if we put a mine down, we could put it in Brooks, and we would get 2 uranium because it's the 2nd mine. But the problem is Brooks is not connected to anything and might never be because it's got a railway of size 2. If I build half of it, the bot will complete it, and that's not too bad. He likes to complete them, so it's not a horrible thing, but he might not match my action, and then I waste an action. Okay, so I think instead then I want to get this last turbine out, because that gives me a +1. So we'll do the last turbine. That'll cost me 3 meeples. And, do I even have, I can place it. It has to go here, which costs me 2 money. That kind of sucks. Okay, spent 2, got 3 back. We have our turbine out. That's all 4 turbines. If we can find technology that says all 4 a reward for that, that would be nice. Okay, so that was half our action was to industrialize. Now we need to energize. And our choices here, we've got the thing which I don't think we want. We've got this one, which is just 3, or this one that's 6. Level 2 technologies. Oh, I just built a turbine, which gives me a free uranium, and I can't place it, so I get a worker. Wow, I wasted that tech so much. So I think we want to energize this 6 building. It is connected to coal if we wanted it, but coal is so expensive. And we want even numbers because this uranium gives us 2 per. So if I spent 2 of these cubes for 4, I'd have to buy 2 coal, which is 6 minus 2. So it'd still be 4, so it's not worth it. And we can't, we're not connected to that coal, right? There's like a break in the map where there's just nothing connected. Oh yeah, it's actually right through here. There's nothing connected. Okay, so we need to, oh no, actually, hold on. We need to get the 6, but we get, if we look at our board, 3 free whenever we energize. Plus we get 1 here, so we really only need 2. So I will just spend 1 uranium. Now remember, it has to travel by rail to a power plant that has a nucleum, so that's there. Now if I wanted to spend a second one, I'd have to use somebody's turbine, and yellow is the only one that has one, so I'd have to pay him a money. That goes to the bank, he gets a point. So it's good that I'm only spending 1 uranium to do it because I don't have to give him points. All right, so that provides now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power. That'll travel back through the rails to this building and flip that. That will give us 6 achievement stars. Let's go back to my board. So 6 achievement stars for powering that. It's also going to give us a level 2 tech, plus we energize so we get a coin. What level 2 tech do we want? This is anytime we energize, we get a meeple or we get to buy a new tile for a 2 discount. Or right now, just get 3 meeples, 3 money. Or right now, we can energize with a 4 energy discount, or 4. Well, I want to do that one, but I don't have anywhere to really spend it because the only building I have right now only takes 3, so it's wasted. So we don't want to use that one. Let's do, yeah, I think this one's going to be better for us. So right now, 3 meeples, 3 money. And I think technically you are supposed to flip these blue ones over once you've done them, just so you're not confused. Okay, so we did our energy, we got our tech, we got our money, our achievement stars. Okay, we're done. Over the bot. We're almost at 2 hours. Wow, okay. He's going to roll his die. He's got a 1. He does not have both of those actions, so he'll just slide it to the end. He's going to do industrialize first, which does cost him a coin. If we look at his tiebreaker card, it is a turbine. And he wants to build his turbine mainly where there's Nucleum, but he can't, there's no space in any of these. No, he can build here, oh, he's not connected. So he does have to go there. It's the only place he can go. And then he's going to take a contract. Gold contracts were at the most. This is the 8-pointer. We already knew about that. So he'll take that one. Go up to 55. New contract is 3 factories. Don't have that. These are just not lining up with my game at all. So he's got 2 coins, so we still got a few more turns to go. I need to urbanize to get out a few more buildings so we can actually build. I also need to connect Praha in some way. So let's see if we can have him. If I'm looking at his tiles, he's got a wild right here, right? So that's going to match anything in an orange. Or he's got a white and a green. So if I give him oranges, whites, and greens to connect to, the odds are he's going to give me my action. So do I have an urbanize with an orange, white, or green? Well, let's just do the wild one. I think that one's a good one. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, so let's play that one with a meeple right here. No, we need to place it here because I need it to match to get the action. So I won't go up on a track yet, but whenever he plays here, it automatically matches and I'll get to go up. So I'm not wasting the action, just delaying it. And I get an urbanize. I have plenty of money to build anything, but I want to build in Praha so that I can energize Praha. It's double points, plus I get this contract. It'll be great. Let's see. I want to technically build both those buildings. And so I should probably get a residential building and then the residential, what's it called? Government building. Because then that can connect to any residential government or residential building that in my network. And there are 2 here that will be in there. I think that's all. So there's going to be 4 total. So I think that'll work. So let's go ahead and build the residential government building. And that, if we look at our board, came from right here, which costs us 5 coins. We don't get any discount right now. So just 5 coins for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 8 left, so I think we're good. So that built that building. Okay, that'll work. Bot's turn. Bot is rolling a die. 2. So he's going to slide this one along. Because he doesn't have a... Oh, he does have a copy of that action. So he actually is going to put this one out. Okay. Doesn't really matter right now. Because he only has max 3 turns. Or actually he's going to add turns. It is a green-white, and that's exactly what we encouraged him to do, right? Because he's going to come here. Because he likes to complete railroads. Now, because we're both on this railroad, we're each going to get 2 points. So work together, benefit. We played a multiplayer game, and everybody was really, really hesitant to build the long train lines because it's like, well, you're kind of wasting action. You're not wasting it, you're just delaying it because people are encouraged to match your color because they get their turn as well. So I think you should build the long railways because then you all benefit from getting the extra points. Okay, so he did complete this. He's going to take his actions, which is going to be develop. What does he have 1 of? It will be the urbanize. Or not, sorry, industrialize. And then what is only 1 time in the offer is going to be the contract. Okay. Lots and lots of energize. And now urbanize up there. Okay. So that was his first thing he's going to do. Now he's also going to get a coin income, which gives him 1 coin and 1 point. So that extends his actions a little bit. Maybe that's good for us. I don't know. And then that flips over his, but he matched mine, which allows me to go up on any track. So let's look at my board. If I go up here, that just gives me a point. If I go up here, it's giving me a point. If I go up here, it's giving me a point. So really not a big deal. Let's move up our furthest one back. Although, at this stage of the game, I'm not sure if I'm going to get up to this level anymore. So I might be trying to finish the track to get it to these 10 victory points. So let's go and do that. I don't know. It could be wasting a few points to try and get 10. Okay, so that was going to be finishing this railroad. We already got our points for it. We did all our actions, so that's over. Cool. All right, I was happy with that turn for him because it wasn't very beneficial to him and it extended the game a little bit. Okay, for us, we can now energize in Praha. So do we have our build energize? We do not. Is there one up there? There is. It's very expensive. No, I think I know what I want to do. Okay, I want to do this one. This is urbanize, industrialize. So for our industrialize action, we'll go ahead and take our... I don't know. I just don't know if we're going to get this level 3 tech will be worth it. I guess no, this is 2 discount on buildings. So yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to build a mine, which will cost me 3 workers. And let's put that mine right here in Brooks. I don't need the bonus one technically, because it's my second mine, so I'm going to get 2 uranium. If I put it here, then the extra uranium would just go over here into Prebnitz. I don't think I need it right now, and I don't want to spend the 2 money. Okay, so that was our mine. We did complete this bottom row, so we do get our level 3 tech. And again, I don't think this scoring one is going to get me that many points. So I'll take this one. And this means now I can urbanize anywhere on the map. Let me read it just in case. There's all these reference cards. It says, urbanize actions have a discount of 2 and ignore network. So yeah, that's one of the, if you're playing Experiment A and you just go for these 2 early on in the game, it just like completely changes the game, because then you don't really care anymore about network. You just build in the most efficient and the best spots. So it can be very expensive up front, huge investment to get like a lot of benefit throughout the game. Okay, so that's our level 3 tech we got with that. We built our mine. That was a thing. Now we get to do our urbanize action, so we have to take immediately benefit from that tech, or anything that's going to cost us 2 less. And we said we wanted to get a residential building here to give us a lot of points. But we also want to get our tech buildings. Because I don't really need this like little tiny little 4 guy right there. If they're energized, they're worth double here in Praha. So I think I'm going to go with... No, let's just go here. Let's do this one. It's fine. Really? Am I really going to do that? I think I am. Okay. We're just going to load up Praha eventually. So that one cost me 3, but I get a 2 discount, so I only have to get 1. And now we have 3 residential out. I don't think that's an achievement anywhere. But we'll get that. Okay. We need to energize next time for sure. Bots action. It's got a 4, so it's going to slide this over. It's first going to develop and go up there. Yeah, I don't know why it gets 2 tiles and doesn't have to pay any money. That just seems cheap to me. First, what does it only have 1 of? Well, definitely of energized. Second, what appears only once up there? Industrialize. He's got so many tiles now. He's never going to spend them. Okay, so there's just 2 new tiles. His other half of his action is to energize. He wants to energize a building connected to a power plant and to his mines or coal production area. So what choices does he have right now? He's got this one is connected to... Does he have any mines? He has 1 mine. Where's his mine at? I don't remember. Oh, right here. So that was this area. So he's got this 8. Please don't be his only one that is connected. Oh no. Oh, I don't want him to build that one. But that's the only one connected to his mine, and it's his most points. These 6s are connected to nuclear power, but he doesn't have a mine over here. So yeah, it will be this one. It's going to flip that guy. And it's connected to 2 turbines and 1 mine, so that's 3 extra points for him. Oh, dang it. Wrong view. Anyway, so yeah, this was his 8-pointer. These 6-pointers here, again, are connected to coal and uranium, but there's no mine here. And then that one up there, again, is not connected to uranium. Or to a mine of his. So he went here, he got 1, 2, 3 points, and flipped this one. Okay, now that's his residential one, so he wants to build, he gets points if he's connected to other residentials, and technically only there right now, because it's only through your network. So he's right now, he's not getting a ton of points for that. That's fine. Okay, back to this. We better energize now, or we're going to run out of time. Oh, he did have to spend a money for that. Oh, we did have to import some coal as well. That was a level 4, so he had to spend 4 coal. Oh, okay, doesn't matter. If you see there, he bought all the level 3 coal, so doesn't matter. Okay, for us. Let's go back up here, just because I might develop. I want to see what comes out. Okay, some good ones up there, but maybe not enough time to take advantage of it. So let's do, I think, energize point income. All right, and we need to energize our Praha building. And we know that when we energize, we get +3 for these 2 turbines, and then 4 for the action. So this residential building here only needs 4 power, and we're going to provide it with the 2 uranium. It's going to go up here, 1 to the tower, 1 to my turbine, so I don't have to pay the extra, and then the power will travel back down here. And flip this building. Oh, why did I think I was getting a level 3 tech? Oh, because I built the wrong building. Shoot, that's not what I meant to do. Can we completely go back and do this? Because I wanted to build a level 3 tech. So here we go. Let's try and reverse this. So instead of building this building, which remember we only spent, this was our tech, the building we got for our technology. We only spent 1 coin, so I'll get 1 coin back. I wanted to build this one, which is going to be 2 coins, but then we have to spend it here, so I've got to spend 2 extra coins. Okay, that's going to be much better for us. Actually, I don't know, that might not even work, because now we're out. We get coal, right? Yeah, we get coal. Okay, so instead of doing this one, which was 8, I need to do this one first, which is 9, which does mean I need to buy a coal. Because I got 4 from there, 4 from my board. The 9th one, I'm actually going to buy a level 2 coal. I can choose if I want, because I get a 2 discount, right? So that one's bought. And that's the 9 we need to power this guy. So that gives us 9 achievement stars. So we're up to 15. And it gives us a level 3 tech. The level 3 tech we're going to do is... Can you get a cheaper tech? Crap. I need a level 2 tech. Dang it. Oh! That's it. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought, but we'll just work with what I've done. Our level 3 tech, we'll just go ahead and enable our endgame scoring condition. I don't think it's going to matter. However, now we have energized a Praha building, so I can turn this in, which gives me 4 money. And lets me get a level 2 tech. The level 2 tech will be this one, which says do an energize, providing 4 extra energy. And I've already got 4, 5, 6, 7 energy. And I only need 8, so I'll buy this other coal for free. Because I have 2 discount on coal. And now I've energized this one too. Which gives me 8 more achievement stars. So now we are at 23. And we've done 2 buildings in Praha, which is awesome. And we've done a ton of technologies. Now this is a used ability, so that goes away. And yeah, that was cool. Did have to change up a few things there, but that was much better action I should have thought about when I was doing that. I just didn't. Okay, so back to the bot. They've got maybe 2, 3 turns left. Oh, maybe that'll give them more. They want to energize, which they have a copy of, so they'll put that out on the board. It is a purple and a wild. They're actually, Purple Wild is only going to go here. It's the only place it can go. They want to energize a building. Again, they have to spend coal now over here. Let's see, there's a... Okay, I'm going to have to go through the whole thing. Building connected to power plant and to Barron's mines and or a coal production area. So this building qualifies, that building qualifies, that building qualifies, and that building qualifies. And technically the neutral does as well. Tiebreaker, government. He doesn't have any government buildings unpowered. Lower requirement. So what's the lowest requirement? That's his building over here, which technically should have never built because he shouldn't have grouped them in the same city, but we're playing an asterisk on that. So he energized that one. It was a level 1 tech, so he uses 1 coal. He's powered it. He has, let's see, his network now extends over here. So he's got 1 turbine. This area is still secluded, so he's got 1 point for that. Okay, then his other action that he did, which is over here, is coin income. Coin income gives him 1 thaler and a point. So money and a point. Okay, so extended the game a bit. If I bought tiles right now, there's only 1 tile left, so I would get 3 points for triggering an endgame condition. Something to think about. But we've got so many stars right now. Now we don't really need to hit the top level 1 because it gives us a level 3 tech. We've already unlocked both our level 3 techs. Can you get a lower then? That's what I wanted to check. When you get a technology, you're allowed to choose a lower technology. It says you must gain a single technology or gain victory points equal to the level of the ward. Select one with equal to or lower than the level gained. Okay, so if you do get a level 3, you can unlock level 2. So a level 3 technology gives me my final tech, which is an endgame condition, which gives me 3 points. I also energized 2 buildings, so I should have 2 more coins. We fix everything, right? Just takes us a while. Right now I'm not scoring in the scoring area for mines because this 23... Oh no, that actually does put me in the scoring area for mines. I need to get 24 if I want the higher level one. So let's energize again. We need to build first. I don't have any more build actions. There are build actions up there. Oh, there's a build energize. Let's get that. All right. So we're actually going to trigger the end of the game by doing this. But do I have something else I can energize? Yes. So I'm going to do this one here, the green-purple, and that's going to allow us to take some tiles. I'm definitely going to take this one, energize and build. It's one of the best tiles in the game because you can immediately energize the thing you build. That costs 1 coin. And then I really don't care about anything else, so I'll just take the freebie. Or do I even care about the freebie? No, I'm not going to use it. So that refills, and that is an endgame condition. That goes up there, and I get 3 points. Okay, so I just took the 1. It cost me 1 money. I'll pay that. And then my other action is to energize. The only thing I really can energize at the moment, that I care to anyway, is this building, and it's only 3, so technically I just flip it over because I power without anything. 3 achievement stars. 1, 2, 3, and 1 coin income. So we're getting close on the coin income track, but I don't think we're going to make it. All right, for him, bought. He's got 2. He wants to take a contract. He's got plenty of those, so we'll put this out on the board. It is a green-orange. It's only 1 space for it to go. Just kind of happens to work out that way. So contracts, he'll take the best contract, which will be 7 points. He's up to 70. No, he doesn't do the level 70 trigger. or the game would be over. Then that was his contract. And the other one for him is 2 meeples. And what does he get for that? 2 workers. He's got 2 left in his bank, whatever. All right, this one flips over, and the game continues. All right, so I gotta be really careful that I trigger the end of the game when I want to now, because as soon as I get this technology, that will give me my second trigger, and that will end the game. We do get to, is it finish the round and have one more round? You and the bear play 1 additional turn as in the multiplayer game. However, the Baron takes 2 energized actions at the end of the game. Okay. Can't remember if I charged him a coin. I don't think I did last turn. So I'll make him pay it. Okay, so if I triggered the end of the game by getting that tech, I would get 1 more turn afterward. So what do I want to do? Do I want to recharge, claim the tech, then I get 1 more turn in which I build energize? Or do I want to, because then if I build energize, I can claim another star, so I could get the 7 to 9 range probably. So I could put 2 more stars up there. I think that's what I want to do. Okay, let's do it. So we are going to recharge. It's gonna cost me a coin and a point to do that because I don't have a 5th thing out there. But I think giving him more turns is just gonna give him points at this point. So we'll recharge. I get 10 money. That's gonna be 2 points at the end of the game if I don't spend it. I get 4 workers, and I get 4, 5, 6, 7 points. I'm at 39. Then I spend all my stars, which is 26. And we're going to put our star, and even though I'm out of stars here, you can use your extra ones. Let's go ahead and put it on the 26. That's what we qualified for. And that's going to give us access to this scoring condition 5 times every 2 buildings. We built 3 sets, so that was a 15-point move. And then we get a level 3 technology. And I could just take 3 points, but I think the better option is to take our final tech. And now we've got all our technologies, so that puts the end game trigger there. And that will give us 3 points to 42. So we're going to finish at about half. No, better than half. Yeah, that's pretty good. Much better than my first game. And that was our stars. So now we just need to claim our stuff. This is an interesting game. That 3rd Nucleum's not going to go on the board this game. That's pretty crazy. I've got so much extra stuff too. Okay, bot. What'll be his, what? He has 2 turns left. He's going to 1, and he is going to industrialize, urbanize, or things, spending the last 2 coins he has. And it's a purple. Does he have both of these? He does, so he wants to put it out on the board. There are no more singles, right? Oh, this is actually going to be to my benefit, I think. Yeah, so he's going to only get 1 of these actions, and he prefers to get industrialize. So he wants it on a purple city, and the tiebreaker is the highest value purple city, which is Zwickau, but that is completely surrounded by yellow. So Aussig is the next one. He's going to go right here, and he wants to get out a mine. So his mine is going to go into Aussig. I think that's the only place he can build it. And that is going to be beneficial for him because he gets 4 points per mine based on his endgame scoring conditions right now. Mine is out, and that's his whole turn. That's nice. Glad that he built that right there because he's not going to have a turn to finish it. Okay, for us, let's go ahead and do our last turn because we did trigger the endgame, so now it's our final turn, and it is going to be the urbanize. urbanize, energize action. So we want to urbanize into Praha. Now, the problem I don't have any uranium connected. No, I do. He's connected it for me. This uranium can go all the way to here to get power with my turbine, and then come all the way down here to, yes, okay, good. Then we want our highest value one put there, and that's going to be this level 4 technology building lab. So on my board, that's the bot. There we go. On the board, it is costs 5, but I get a 2 discount, so it only costs me 3. Then we'll play that here. It actually costs 2 extra, so it did cost me 5, but there we go. Put that here in Praha. That's my urbanize action. Now immediately energize it. So we said these 2 coal could hit there. Don't have to pay an extra. That's 4 of it. Then my board, I get 5, 6, 7. There's not a benefit here, so we are at 7. We need 5 more. So I will get 1, 2, 3. That's 5 total. 4, 5. So that's 11 money in coal, because I'm dumb and don't have enough uranium. 11 money in coal. I get a 2 discount, so it's going to cost me 9. That actually cost me like 2 points right there to buy all that coal. But that does now energize this building in Praha, which will be double points. The bonus for this energizing a building is to go up on any 3 tracks, or 3 bumps on a track. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Should get 3 points there. And then I energized, so I get $1. And I either get a worker or a tile. So let's just take a worker, because I think I get endgame points for that. Done. Okay, that was my game. My game's done. Let's give the bot his last turn. We know that he just does a double energize action for free as his last turn. So he is going to flip this 5 for sure. And there's no coal left, so he just does it for free. So that one, how many things is it connected? Is everything connected now? Oh, I think the whole board is connected. Okay, so I don't think he gets for every single turbine. I think it picks 1 plant and then uses that one, right? Yeah. I don't know. It says 1 VP per turbine it owns within the same network. Let me look at the actual instructions here. Can only energize an urban building. Is connected to a power plant. I think all of his things are. That power plant is connected to coal production area or his mines. Yes. It spends 1 sailor. We know he gets it for free. Selects a building to energize in the priority. Government buildings. He has not built the other 2. He energized 1 already, so that's not it. Its own building with the lowest power. So we've got a 5, a 6, and a 6. And then a neutral building after that. If there are multiple equally preferred buildings, reveal a logic card and use the tiebreaker. If possible, he chooses a power plant in his own network. If the power plant is connected to 1 or both coal production areas, he imports the coal. Always importing the cheapest one. There we go. The Baron scores 1 VP per turbine it owns in the same network as the activated power plant. Wow. If it has a Nucleum, he also gets 1 VP per mine it owns in the network. That is cheap. Because that's totally cheating. You cannot do that in the normal game. So he's going to take this 5. That's the lowest one he has. That's energized. He's going to do both the 6s. All right, so both the 6s, they're going to go to, really doesn't matter, like this plant. That plant is connected to all of his mines, which is 2, and 3 of his turbines, which is 5. So he gets 5 points each for both of these buildings to flip them. So 10 points. So yeah, what I said about being half of him, yeah, that's what it has. So he did those. Okay, and that's the end of the game. So let's figure out endgame scoring. Let's do the bots first, and then we can try and see if we can catch up to him. So endgame for the bot. First, it's going to do all, it's pretty much everything. The only difference is for the milestones, he just gets 2, 4, 6, or 8, even if he doesn't have any stars. Which is kind of cheap because I didn't let him put out his final star. So I don't think he should get that top one, right? Yeah, that's cheating. It says he just gets 8 points if it meets the top milestone. Whatever. Okay, so endgame is right here. The first is milestones. So he's going to get 2 times the number of green buildings he built. He built 2 of them, so he's going to get 4. He's going to get then 4 times every city where he has an energized building. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's getting 6 times 4 is 24 points. That's a bad one. 108. Let's give him his little 100 marker. Whatever. I'll just put it down by his board. He's got 108. Now he's going to get 6 times the number of mines he built. He built 2 mines, so that's 12. Puts him at 120. And then he's going to get 8 times for every 2 buildings he built. He's built 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 times 8 is 32. And he's at 152. He's lapped us. Okay. That's his things. He doesn't have an in-game tech achievement. He gets 1 point, I think it says, for each coin or meeple he has left over. Yeah, so he had 1 meeple left over for 1 point. Then he's going to score his urbanized buildings. So if we look at them, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. There's 10 more, so 19, 22. And this is 2 points for every residential building connected to it. And that is going to be, oh man, this could be a lot. He was at 22. That one's, including this one, so there's 24, 25, 26. He's connected here, he's connected here. That's a residential, that's 28. And now he's not connected anymore. So 28 points there. 61, 81. So he finished with a 181 for his points. All right, let's do ours. Let's see how we did. First thing we do is these final endgame achievements again. Oh, I forgot one thing. The very end of the game, you are allowed during scoring to then claim 1 more achievement, place a final star. Our last thing we got was we got those 12 achievement points that we never got really, so I need to spend those. Put a star. So I can't do 12. I'm already up there, so I'll go down to the 9. That's going to be critical in how we score it. Okay. So as far as green buildings, I get 3 points per green. I've got all 4, so that's 12 points. We're at 54. Then I'm going to get, because this one is down here, I'm going to get 4, 7 times every city that I have an energized building in. It's not going to be a lot because I focused in a few, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 4 cities times 7 is 28. That's not horrible. So 62, 82. Hey, we're not lapped. 99 more points. Let's see if we get them. We do not have anything in this region at all, so we get none for our 2 mines. But then we're going to get 5 for every 2 buildings we built. 1, 2, 3. So that's 15 more. I don't think we're going to make it. 97. Okay, so that's all we got for our end game. That's way less. I think I was getting like 30s last game I played. So the next thing is our end game technology. And we said it's how many cities we have something in. It's not just urban buildings, it's something. So if we look at every city, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cities where we have something in them, and that's going to be worth 10 points for us. We didn't hit the 9. Maybe I should have focused that. I think I thought it was energized, but no, it's just any building at all, and we kind of focused in a few certain areas. Praha is going to save us, I hope. Okay, the next thing is we trade in our extra uranium. We have none of that. Every 2 meeples we get a point. We had an extra 2, 4, 6, 8 meeples. That's 4 points. We have how many coins? It's every 5 coins, so we have 6, I guess 1 point. Then we're going to get our buildings. So this one's 2, 7, 8, 9, 14. So let's get 14 first, then we'll do Praha here. 26. So we're at 126. We need 60 points here. 60 points. I'm not going to get 60 points. This building here is just going to get double 5, so that's 10. 36. 50 more. Okay. This building here is going to need 2 points for every residential building in my network connected to it. So it counts itself for 1. And then we go up my network here. We've got 2, 3, and my network ends. So that's only 6 points. It is doubled to 12. 148. And then the last one is going to be technology buildings in my network 3 times. So I've got 1, 2. I just needed to combine my network. Yeah, because that's not technology. So it's only 2 buildings times 3 is 6, doubled is 12. So we have 160. And then the only other points I get is if I reach the end of any track. I did get to the end of, well, almost the end of the money track, so we get 3 there. And I finished with a score of 163 to the bot's 181. That is lower than I had my first score, or first time, because I wasn't bothered to film it, and I probably made a bunch more mistakes. But the board was set up quite differently. That's one thing. Well, let's talk about it. So that's the end of the game. Hope you guys liked it. Make sure if I made any goofs, if you noticed anything wrong, I'm sure there are plenty. Put them in the comments below with the timestamps. Let's talk about the game a little bit. So Nucleum, I love it. It's such a brain burner, and I like it better than Brass. Brass is much more about like getting in the right places and kind of screwing over people, and you know, I don't know, it's more unforgiving, I think. This one has a lot more, you know, there's like multiple things you could do on your turn that are all going to be good. Now finding the best thing to maximize your points, I'm clearly not the best at that yet. And sometimes there is a lot of randomness. I know in Brass people love it because there's very little random, right? Every card is known, they all come out. Almost. But it's always going to get compared to Brass because of the transporting materials by rail into buildings. It's always going to be compared to Barrage. I've only played Barrage twice. And it's very similar in the achievement scoring, where you have to get to a certain level and then keep getting to a certain level to get the better outcome, which is nice because it pushes you, right? You can't just dink around. Also, the whole thing where you need to keep putting tiles down here to get your maximum income didn't really affect me this game, but in the multiplayer game we played, I had 2 of these way out here, and I wanted all these points, but I couldn't do that unless I played like 5 tiles or 6 tiles before I recharged. And so that means it's less that you can go on the board, and so it makes presence on the board more important. And that's with the experiments. I've played Experiment A just the one time, and I didn't really understand the power that this technology offers. A 2 discount on every building and ignoring presence means you really don't have to put many rails out at all. You just have to put them in key areas to get your uranium into spots. So if I think I played this again, I would go for this mine and this turbine first, if I could get this tech out and then just have that, and then just build all over the map. And then worried about energizing, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. You do kind of, I guess, in a multiplayer game, get to kind of draft in reverse turn order which experiment you like. But if it's the first game and you don't understand what the benefits of each experiment are, like A is all about coal in the early game, you know, if you can, because you get such a good discount, and then building a ton of buildings all over the map and then energizing them to get those rewards. I played B, which gives you 2 extra tiles is your benefit down here. They're really nice tiles, but I don't think they're as nice as this, because they're like double actions with discounts. Pretty good, but yeah. What else I want to talk about? The bot is tough. Is a really hard to run bot. I'm sure I made a lot of mistakes. The whole tiebreaker low to high is just so unclear because you're connecting two cities, so there's two different numbers, and so you're like, well, I have an orange and a wild card, so technically I can connect to any city. Do I find the lowest orange or do I find the lowest city that's next door? It's yeah. So hopefully I did that right, but there is some a little bit of arbitrariness in how those tiebreakers resolve. And it is weird that the bot just builds all over the map without regard to his to connecting things, right? It's just like I would like to connect two cities. I don't care where as long as they match the colors, right? And then it's just going to rely on I'm putting so many of them on the board that eventually I will connect my stuff. And so that's okay, but it's kind of a could we have designed a better bot that was more like human like in that it wants to connect where it's, you know, beneficial to itself. I don't like when bots cheat. I think that's, I don't know, almost a hack, right? And it might be required. This game is so complex that it just might not be possible to emulate a human in the decision making space without making it just way overcomplicated or impossible. And so I think anytime that you find that the bot cheats is probably when the designer said, I just can't make this work, you know, in the difficulty that we want to keep the bot at. And it's already incredibly difficult to run and do its actions and decide where it's going to build and what. That I can understand why the bot cheats, that it doesn't pay uranium, it doesn't pay coins, it doesn't do this. Um, but things like, you know, I'm sure the bot when they first tested was running out of tiles, so they said, okay, well, we'll just make development free so it can never run out of tiles. You know, that's seems like just a hacky way of solving a problem. Yeah, if Turczi watches my video and could tell me about his development process, that would be pretty cool. But I just every time I play a game and I read the rules, and it's like the bot doesn't have to pay this or the bot doesn't have to. I'm just like, oh come on, that's not fair. Especially when you lose to the bot, you're like, well, of course you cheated. um, but I don't know. They said in the forums that the bot is fairly easy to build to beat. Obviously not incredibly easy. Um, but there are challenges at the end of the book that you can make the bot more difficult. And a lot of games are like, well, the bot is medium difficulty, and if you would like to make it easier, do this, and if you want to make it harder, do this. There's only harder. There's nothing else to make it easier. I did do the 3 meeple start, which is kind of like the beginner game. Normally, you're only supposed to start with 2 meeples, but there's things like after he does a develop, he's going to take 2 tiles, plus he's going to remove the rightmost tile. So the tiles cycle faster, ending the game quicker. When he removes the contract, he's also going to take out a silver contract, which just ends the game faster. When he takes a railway turn, he always gets both actions. So they're just, everything is wild to him. So yeah, incredibly things that make him even more cheaty, right? or just more speed up the game so you have less time to do things. That's one thing about this game is the ending comes fast because you think that the game just goes around and you don't really have a set number of rounds or a set number of turns. You really do have a set number of turns. It might be within a range, but every turn you take is marching the game towards its end, whether you like it or not. You know, I guess you could take those turns that just improve your income. Those don't really do it. But whether you like it or not, the game will end. And a lot of times it will end sooner than you want it to. And so those last few actions, you have to recognize, this game could end in 4 turns. And I have to spend those 4 turns, you know, exactly how I want to do them. I can't just waste a turn to get some, I've got to get critical points at the end of the game. And so, yeah, deciding, especially if you're the one that can possibly tick the end game over, and evaluating whether it's worth it or not, is a really big component of the game. As you saw in this game, it was really weird. We didn't energize a lot, and I didn't get a lot of uranium out, and that's weird. In other games I've played, I've had uranium just to spare. Like, I was getting so much uranium, I was trading it in for workers. And this game, that just didn't really happen. I think that's because I focused in the top left. There's no uranium up there. And also I played the bot wrong where I was putting multiple buildings in the same city for him. If I hadn't done that, he would have spread down more here. And I think if I would have started more where uranium is available, I really got hurt by losing that spot out. That was a really bad, and it hurt my strategy by losing that spot. It just put uranium so far out for me. And because the bot, again, is just going random, it takes a while till he connects the stuff for you to where you can get it. I didn't play to the end game scoring conditions very well. You really want to focus on those, especially getting double stars in one of the top ranges, so you can get either 9 times or 11 times one of those tokens and then just max it out. You definitely want to look at, because some of those, like, you can only get 4 mines, so the max you're going to get from that was 9 times horse 36, whereas the top one you could build all 12 buildings. That's 6 times 11, 66. So it's much beneficial to get 2 up here. So if you're like have something here and here, and then you get 24 stars, is it more beneficial to put it here and get twice this one, or do you just drop down and get twice this one? That can be really critical at the end, knowing whether to put this star above the line or below the line, even if you qualify for something else. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. It's a great game. I'm just not good at it yet. I'm a beginner still. I will definitely play a lot more solo and multiplayer games of this. So let me know, guys, what you think of Nucleum. Have you bought it yet? Have you played it online? I think it's available on Tabletop Simulator. And it's out in most stores. I got it for Christmas. And thanks for watching. Look forward to showing you more games that I got for Christmas. I got quite a few, so they'll be on my channel upcoming. And this is Ron for Solopera Games. Catch you guys later. Bye.